Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and I have this wonderful team that God has gifted me with. First of all, Faith, my lovely Faith. She's been my assistant since the day she was born. She used to come up on the podium and do announcements with me. I'd sit her on the podium. Excuse my cough. I have a fungal infection in my lungs, so it's a good thing we're talking about health and healing today. That's going to be a good one, I hope. Good God. Anyway, Faith has been my assistant since the day she was born, and now she's 17 and my official assistant. So we ask that you say hi, hello, good morning. Hang on a minute. Ooh. However you'd like to greet us to let us know that you're here.
I am the one answering your comments because Tucker is trying to talk and typing is just, that's too much brain overlapping. So she does go back and read through them to check, but most of the time I've got you guys. So don't forget to say hi. I love to reply to y'all.
Thank you. Yes. It's so good when you have a team that can just fill in for you whenever you need. Faith is actually our singer also today. Most Sundays, actually. My goodness, I was fine until I started talking. So anyway, thank you, Faith, for being here. I appreciate you. The other member of our team is the great and powerful Oz. He's my partner in crime since 1998. He was my boyfriend for 20 years and then moved off to Florida, and now he's in Wisconsin. So he's going to be our practitioner of the day. So he will be praying us in and praying us out, and he's available at the end for a 1-minute miracle. So thank you, Oz, for being here. Okay. Oh, goodness. So today's topic is health, let's see, how did I say it? Health, wholeness, and healing, or healing, health, and healing, whole, and healthy, right? Whatever the name of the song is that Faith is going to be singing.
Healed, whole, and healthy.
There we go. Healed, whole, and healthy. Good thing. I told her to pick whatever song she wanted. She picked that one, and it's a perfect one for how I feel. So I figured that was a good one for me to talk about. All right. Like we said, if you're here, say hi, hello, good morning, however you want to greet us. When we're in a facility, we are able to look out and see who's there. We don't have that luxury with this software. So it's good for us to know who's here. And if you want to do a watch party, there's a watch party button. It's a great way for people to know what kind of sermons they can expect. And also you can talk back and forth without bothering anybody. So it's a great way to do that. So click on that watch party button and invite all your friends. All right. Oh, goodness. I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God right here, right now, for God is all there is. The one being infinite and eternal that permeates all creation and creates new creation as it goes along. It is one continuous process that is always expanding, always changing, always growing, always creating perfection in all aspects. And we allow that to flow through our service right now, that the perfection of God moves through each of us and each of you as we share our hour. I know that this is a good thing and a blessing that results all around. And I let that blessing happen, and I give great thanks, and I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. All right. This next song is by Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. We Are All One. It is sort of the theme song of our church. So if you know the words, sing it loud, sing it proud, that you can't bother anybody because you're at home, right? So let's move into that song right now.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
So, like I said in the beginning, if you're here, please say hi, hello, good morning. However you'd like to greet us. When we look out when we're in a facility and we look out into the audience, we know who's there. It's just kind of nice to know who's here. So please do that, because this software doesn't allow us to see you. I don't even see names of people who are watching. So just say hi, hello, good morning, whichever way you'd like to greet us, and Faith will answer you. And if you like something that you hear, either something I say or God says through me, or something that you hear in the music or in the prayer, use that thumbs up button. If you love it, definitely send us some hearts. We love those love hearts. And if something strikes you as really powerful, help me to know that I'm on track with what I'm saying by doing the wow button. If it really strikes you as something powerful, that lets me know. This feedback lets me know that I'm on track. So, all right, without further ado, we have Faith singing Healed, Whole, and Healthy by Karen Drucker.
I am healed, whole, and healthy. I relax and visualize. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well. I am well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I relax and visualize. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well. I am well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I accept and I receive. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well. I am well. Healed, whole, and healthy. Angels are watching over me. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well. I am well. I am well. Healed, whole, healed, whole, healed, whole, well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I've got love surrounding me. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well. I am well. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I've got love surrounding me. I am healed, whole, and healthy. I am well. I am well. All is well. All is well. I am well. I am well. All is well. I am whole. Healed. Whole. I am well. I am well. I am well. All is 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 well.
Thank you, Faith. I love that song. It's a good one to sing around, like this morning I listened to it and I started singing along with it. Probably why I'm coughing so much. I don't know. But I started looking at what healed, whole, and healthy really actually means. Sometimes we think that healed means all, that the person lives and is completely healthy, and that isn't always the case. Sometimes the healing is that the body is left behind and the spirit continues on. In this case, I'm not dying, don't worry. But I started thinking about that because my mentor, Reverend Kathleen Vogt, Dr. Kathleen Vogt, actually, was sitting in a hospital room with her friend who was dying of cancer. And she kept praying for her to live. And finally, I think her name was Valerie, something like that, looked at her and said, "Let me go. I need to go." And Kathy finally got it. That was her way of understanding that sometimes healed means the person needs to go on. And so when we talk about healed, whole, and healthy, I think sometimes we get confused about what that means. Healthy, obviously, we know what healthy means. Healthy means that you're not you don't have a dis-ease. Let's put it that way. We don't call it, sickness or illness. We call it dis-ease because it's not the ease that the body is destined to live as. We call it dis-ease because it interrupts that flow of ease of God. And so when you think about what whole means, whole is a totally different concept than what we think of normally with whole. Whole means that we accept who we are 100%. Someone posted something the other day about loving herself, and what she said was, how can I love myself if I'm still battling demons and if I haven't gotten rid of all the demons in my life? And that isn't what this means. Loving yourself, being whole, means that you accept your whole being, regardless of the demons, regardless of whatever ails you, regardless of anything. You accept your whole being, because truly what we're made of is God, right? We're all made of God stuff. And you've heard me say this before, but when you think about it, quantum physics backs me up with this. This desk is made of the same molecules that I'm made of. The only difference is the molecules are bumping up against each other really, really fast, which creates a more solid thing. With me, it's a little bit slower. With the water, it's very slow. Okay. And so if everything is made of God, then we start out with the premise of wholeness. Like we are whole beings because God flows through us. And disease or anything else that is any condition that we are experiencing has no power over God, right? So if we go back to the premise of our wholeness and we start to think of ourselves as that, then nothing in this world has any power over us. Now, I'm not going to sit here and deny that I'm coughing. I'm not going to sit here and deny that I have to take some herbs to cure the body. Let's put it that way. But the being inside of me, the spiritual being that I am, not the human doingness, but the spiritual being inside of me is already healed, whole, and healthy. And that's what I focus my attention on. Because if I focus on the illness, or I focus on the cough, or I focus on dis-ease of any kind, if I focus my attention there, I just create more of that, right? So the object is for us to focus on that spiritual being that is whole, that is healthy, that is completely void of dis-ease, because that spiritual being cannot be affected by any of that, by any of the conditions of this world. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Which brings me back to a few months ago when I talked about perfection. And remember, there's a quote that gets attributed to anyway, this quote actually appeared in Marianne Williamson's Return to Love. And it gets attributed to, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Jeez. Nelson Mandela in his inaugural speech, but he actually didn't say it. They've proved that he didn't say it. But it is, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we subconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So we are divine beings that created exactly the way we were supposed to be. And that includes health and wholeness. That includes this body reflecting that spiritual essence of us. It doesn't because of stress. It doesn't because of some of our unhealthy habits. It doesn't because of some of the ways that we live. Our soil is contaminated. Our air is contaminated. So many things in our life are contaminated that it does affect us. But when we focus our attention on the spiritual being instead of the human doing that is experiencing these things, we have the ability to reach back into that perfection that is God within us. We are perfect just the way we are, although sometimes we don't act perfectly. I get that. I mean, people make mistakes. We don't act perfectly. But everybody is born with different talents, and when, if encouraged, will lead to a more successful person. And the truth about that is that each of us has very, very different talents. Give me a computer, I can do just about anything. Give me a microphone, I can talk about just about anything. Put me in the kitchen, no, it doesn't work. And I'm okay with that. The people in my house are not as happy about it as I am because I don't cook, because I know that's not one of my talents. But the talents that I do have, I appreciate. I know that I was divinely created to be perfect just as I am. And that's what we need to focus our attention on, especially when we're sick, especially when we have a cough or whatever dis-ease shows up. That's when we need to focus on it the most. Because we are unique beings, not special. Please understand, if I'm special, that means that you're not. And that's not the way we were created. We were created equally. So we can say that we are unique because our special gifts and talents make us unique. It's like a snowflake. We don't talk about a snowflake being more perfect than the other, right? Or more special than the other. What we talk about with that snowflake is that it's unique. It doesn't look like any other snowflake in the world. And that's the way it is with us. There's a reason that we are unique. It is because we bring different gifts to the world. Who we are and what we are is individualized. Yes, we all are God. We all are, that God flowing through us. That is who we are and what we are. But we each individualize that so that our gifts and our talents move into the world and change the world to be better. I mean, I think it would be a very boring world if everybody looked like me or acted like me or had the same, talents. Like, I'm so gifted in my family. It's amazing. We have so many artists in our family. Anything from like photography to painting to my niece who makes the mala beads and bracelets for the lab rescue. I have one cousin who's a designer whose clothes I wear. And we're really blessed to have all of that in our family. But I also think of like, what would the world be without art or without music? Think about what we would do if there wasn't talent like Faith and Tina and, all of the musicians in the world. Life without music would be so boring. And so it's really important that we acknowledge our special gifts and talents. It's important that we acknowledge how we individualize that God's spirit that lives within us and how we utilize it to help the world. I mean, my thing is, I'm here to heal the world one person at a time. That's my personal motto. So whether that means my ozone business or it means, these sermons that I deliver, pottery. That's right. Joy just reminded me we have someone who does pottery in our family too. And so everything that we appreciate about the world is what makes it the world, you see? And the differences between it, I like to focus on the similarities between us, knowing that we are all one. I mean, I do like that. But I also like to acknowledge that there are differences, like food differences is a perfect example. My sister and I have about 4 or 5 foods in common that we just we love. And even though we were raised in the same household, we have differences. But my friends are a totally different situation. Like, I have neighbors next door. It's so funny because they'll rant and rave about a restaurant, and we'll go there and we'll eat the food and we're like, yeah, okay, not so great. And then we'll recommend a restaurant and they'll go, well, it's not terrible. And Dr. Kathleen Vogt and I used to go to this one place called the Brewskis. I don't even know if they survived all of this, but they used to have these artichoke fritters that we both just adored. And it was the only restaurant really that we could agree upon. She loved this one Mexican restaurant that was, the food was just god awful. I'm sorry, it just was. And so she would recommend going there, and I'd be like, let's go to a Brewski's, you know, because I knew we could both eat there. And there were times when I recommended places to her, and then she would go and say, I didn't really like the food that much. So there's like food differences, you know, our palates are very unique as well. There's also, you know, the difference in beauty. What we consider beautiful in the United States may not be the same thing that is considered beautiful like in Taiwan or, you know, somewhere else in the world. And so when we look at all of that, healed, whole, and healthy is the same kind of thing. It's about knowing what we can agree upon is wholeness. What can we agree upon that is healthy? Healed is a whole other thing, because healed can be, like I said, it can be getting over something, or it could be passing on. But when we think about the perfection of life that lives within us, that creates that whole health that we have, we need to remember that if God is for us, who is there to be against us? And so when we concentrate and we have our focus on that spiritual beingness that we are, instead of the physical awareness of this world, then we really do know that we are whole, healthy, and healed, right? Does that make sense? Oprah Winfrey had a great quote. I finally realized that being grateful to my body was key to giving more love to myself. Now, you know, so many of us, excuse me for a minute. Duchess, leave Daisy alone. So many of us, I'm sorry, Duchess likes to attack Daisy. She's not like vicious about it. She's playing, but poor Daisy has cancer and is very frail. So when she grabs her ears and stuff, Daisy doesn't know how to fend for herself. So, okay. I just had to interrupt a little bit there. You know, if we can be grateful for whatever our body style is, you know, there's a reason that everybody's body looks different. There's a reason why some people have more fat on their bodies and some people have more muscular bodies and some people have just skinny bodies. There's a reason for that. It is, you know, our expression of this physical body that we are expressing in life, and being grateful for that body is the key to experiencing health and wholeness, right? Because if I hate my body, if I'm looking at my body and I go, gee, I just really hate that potch that I have right here, then you're hating your body. And when you're hating your body, the message you're giving to your body is you're not good. It's not good. And we don't want to give that message to our bodies, right? We want to give our message to our bodies that we are grateful for the body that we have. I mean, think about what it is that makes the body tick, right? It's so amazing when you really think about how the heart beats and how it brings blood flow to every part of your body. And how that in turn, the breath process, breathing in carbon dioxide, or breathing in oxygen and putting out carbon dioxide, and the plants taking in the carbon dioxide and breathing out the oxygen, you see? It's such a perfect When you really think about it, it's such a perfect vessel for God to experience this world. And we get caught up in this not working or that not working, or I don't like this about myself, or I don't like that about myself. And we forget how perfect that is. We forget how amazing our bodies were created. There's so many mysteries. They don't even know sometimes why something does something, you know? And so when we think about it, like if there was no mind, if there was no brain, the body couldn't function without it. Or if all you had was a brain and no body, there wouldn't be any experience of the world. So every part of you has its function, has its unique gift that it gives to your life. And we want to focus on those gifts. See, I think everything goes back to self-esteem. I'm a real big proponent of that. When I had first got involved in religious science, I was I think I had taken one class, and I met this woman named Gigi Owens, who was a practitioner at Mile High. And after talking to me just for a few minutes, I mean, it must have been so obvious. After talking to me for a few minutes, she said, I want to put you through Dr. Marjorie Stomm's self-esteem class. And I said, well, I don't have the money for that. And she said, well, I'm paying for it. And she would never let me pay her back. She said, no, pay it forward, pay for someone else to do it. So now I teach self-esteem in the church. But I also teach it in all of my counseling, because I don't care what it boils down to. You know, whether it's a financial issue or a love issue or a health issue, it all boils back down to self-esteem. If I feel like I am worthy of living my best life, then the diseases of the world are going to be less effectual in my life. If I believe that I don't deserve to be healthy, then I'm going to not be healthy. If I feel like I deserve love, then I will attract to me someone who loves me and I can feel that love. If I feel like I don't deserve love, then I'm going to attract people to me that are going to show me that I don't deserve love. You know about that self-esteem loop, right? Here's a perfect example. So we go about life going, thinking a certain thing. And then we have an experience in life that feeds back to us. Yes, you're right. So if I say, I'm unworthy of abundance, then the universe goes, oh, okay, you're unworthy of abundance. So every experience I have is going to show me again that I am unworthy of abundance, right? And then that just confirms it. And then it reaffirms that belief, and I go about my life that way. That's the self-esteem loop. So if in fact I can get myself to the point where I remember that God is simply all that I am, all I ever have been, all I ever will be is God. Not that all of God, but that God flows through me, that is what I'm made of. If I can remember that, and can you imagine saying to God, you don't deserve abundance? Seriously. Okay, so if all we're made of is God, then when we say you don't deserve abundance, when we're talking to ourselves, that self-talk, then we're telling God doesn't deserve abundance, right? We were born with the right to have all of that. And it is only the circumstances of our lives and the reactions that we've had to it that have contributed to the subjective mind telling us that we don't deserve it. And then, of course, we have these experiences that confirm that. So the object is to clear up that subjective consciousness, right? You might remember a few weeks ago me talking about the sea of subjectivity, where everybody in the world contributes to the sea of subjectivity, and everybody in the world draws from it. So if I'm putting in there that I don't deserve, or that we don't deserve, or that somehow there's an undeservingness about abundance, then the next person who goes in there and grabs that is going to take that with them. Now, I would rather put good thoughts into that sea of subjective, and allow other people to draw the positivity, the beauty, the life, the wholeness the healthiness, the healedness. I want them to be able to draw that out. So I live my life in that way, clearing my subjective mind all the time. We have this powerful subjective mind that will either, when we want to do something, and we don't feel like we deserve to have it or something like that, our subjective mind will cancel that out before it actually gets into form. Or it operates independently of us because it's on autopilot. You know about autopilot, right? When you first learned to drive, how you had to think about turning the wheels, putting your foot on the brake, all of that. Well, at some point it becomes automatic. At some point you no longer have to think about those things. And our subjective mind will go on without us and create a world that we don't like, because it has these beliefs held very firmly in there. So our job really in working with Healed, Whole, and Healthy is to get rid of anything that's in the subjective mind that is opposed to a whole and healthy body, right? So that's what we're going to focus on. That's what we're going to do this week. We're going to look at ourselves, and when we look in the mirror, we're going to say to ourselves, you're beautiful just as you are. Every part of you is absolutely perfect. And, at first your subjective mind's going to give that self-talk back, and they're going to say, no, you're not. Look at your, eyes are drooping. Look at your mouth, your lips are disappearing from your age. Or look at all that fat that's on my body, right? That's what the subjective mind is going to point you at. So you just have to answer it back and say, no, I am made of God. I am made of the molecules of God. And because of that, I am perfect already. Everything about me is already perfect. And you just keep affirming that. Always affirm the opposite of what that subjective mind is telling you. Remember that some of that comes from other people, just so you know. It's a good thing to kind of look at that and see where you got it. A long time ago, Terry Cole Whitaker put out a book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. And I just loved the name of that book and the material that was in it. But it was such a good book because it really was, when you look at your life, you see how much of your life has really been guided and led by something that somebody said, and it may have been an offhand comment to them, not meaning anything to them at all. And we have taken and run with our life with it. And it's important for us to kind of look back and see what that is. Where did I get that? Where did I get that information from? Was it perhaps, my mom used to say to me all the time, you have champagne tastes on a beer budget. Well, Mom, where did I get those champagne tastes? Didn't you raise me? You see what I'm saying? And so I had to really look at that, because I really created a beer budget in my life, because I didn't feel like I deserved the champagne taste that I had, right? And it was just an offhand comment for her. It really wasn't that important to her, but it was to me. And when we look at our lives, really, as Nathaniel Branden, who is a self-esteem expert in the psychological community, he says the only opinion that matters is the opinion we have of ourselves. So why let someone else's opinion override that truth, that spiritual truth of you being perfect just as you are, because you are made of God? We wouldn't look at God and say, you're imperfect, right? God, you're fat. Or God, your eyes are drooping. We wouldn't do that, right? And so what we want to do is we want to only tell ourselves the good things, the things that are powerful, contribute to that subjective unconscious, that sea of receptivity, contribute that healed, whole, and healthy vibe, those healed, whole, and healthy thoughts, and allow other people to reach in there and get what you already have. You see? Can you do that with me this week? Can you look in the mirror and say how beautiful you are and not let any of that subjective material sway you? Look in the mirror and say, I am beautiful just as I am. I am perfect because I am made of God, and God is perfect. Can you do that with me this week? Let's have a prayer. I now focus my attention on that infinite power, that infinite presence of God. To that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful God is. And I know that that is where I find myself, in the midst of God. My very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom within me that is God flowing through me. I know that same truth to be so for God's team. That each of us, working as a whole, bring to this our individual human doingness to get the job done here on the planet. But flowing through us is that divine wisdom of the ages. It is God speaking through us, singing through us, living through us, being us. And so I know that Lynn and Faith and Tina and Oz and I are one in that power and presence of God. As I know that everyone who is watching this, whether it be in real time or later on, is one. We are all one. There's no place where one leaves off and the other begins. There's only the one life, one love, one being, one life. Mitakuye Oyasin, we are all one. So I bless this week with an awareness of that healed, whole, and healthy perfection that we are. Our focus turns to the spiritual being underneath that human doingness that reveals that perfection as God living through us. Stop. I know that as we do that work this week, that all conditions that appear to be the opposite of that healed, whole, and healthy just disappear back into the nothingness from which they came. That at this moment, we are all blessed with a healthy, whole, perfect body, capable of carrying our spirit to the highest heights in this world. And so I know this truth for every name that is in the ministry of prayer this morning, because I do know that that spiritual truth is underlying any condition they may be experiencing. And I pull back that veil, revealing that truth here and now, and I claim it in their name as good and very good. My heart just fills with gratitude to know this is so, to be of service in this way. And so I just let it be. And so it is. Amen. Ooh, boy, I get so high when I pray. It's a beautiful high. Who needs drugs? I don't. All right. Now is the time for us to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have already experienced here on earth, and for that which you have created in the mind of God, but may not have already experienced here in the world. And so I invite you to go to oasiscsl.org, as is shown on the screen and in the comments. And about 2/3 down the page, you'll see an offering affirmation that we use to bless all of the money that goes in and comes out. And underneath that is the Contribute Now button, and you are contributing to this message getting out into the world. We do have an international audience, so that's really cool to know that we are a global outreach, that God's message is coming through loud and clear to all places and not just our local communities. But that work does require some money. So what you're contributing to is that. So go to www.oasiscsl.org, and whether you're watching this in real time or you're watching it later, you can participate with us right now. Please say the offering affirmation with us. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. All right, hit that contribute now button and know that you are contributing to this message getting out into the world. All right. So we have a wonderful ministry of prayer from coast to coast. We have licensed practitioners who work on those requests every day for a week. So if you would like some prayer for a situation you're in, or for, anything that you need prayer for, you can either put it in the comment section and we will pray on that every day for a week. Or if you don't want it to be public, you can reach out and message one of us, and Faith will make sure it gets on this. We have, we call our ministry of prayer the God Squad, and we have this wonderful team that will pray every day on those for a week. And we have a private group page on Facebook that we deliver those prayers to the God Squad. Only the God Squad has access to it. And if you would like to be part of our God Squad, you don't necessarily have to be a licensed practitioner. It helps. But if you're willing to do affirmative prayer every day for a week and keep those requests confidential, type yes in the comment field and Faith will add you to our God Squad team. So also be aware that at the end of the service, Oz will be available for what we call our 1 minute miracle. It's not a time for counseling. It is a time where you can share whatever thing you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. You can reach out to him by video chat. If you don't get him right away, it means he's on the phone with someone else. And so wait a few minutes and then call back. But also know that our practitioners, our licensed practitioners, are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. And you can get a hold of them off of our website and, take advantage of this loving service they provide, because it's pretty powerful going to a practitioner. And you will reach out to them and they will they'll have PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or some way for you to pay them. And then they'll set an appointment. They'll reach out to you on video chat during that time. All right. If you would like to be part of our public-facing group page on Facebook, which is our online community, we post all of our information for events and that kind of thing there first before we make it public. So it's a great way for you to get the information quicker. And that leads us to our special announcements here. We have, this is a bracelet my niece makes, Brooks and Bailey. Here's her thing. And it benefits the Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue. And you can get a hold of her through Brooks and Bailey 0307@gmail.com to get these wonderful bracelets. They're awesome. And the mala beads as well. So, and that brings us to Faith's company.
And this is the Mystic Brew. Again, it is our metaphysical shop where we sell intention jars and bath salts. I have been talking the last few weeks about our new product, and you can now customize and make your own jar. And I do a personalized session just for you. And then today, our spiritual tool of choice is our health intention jar. This little guy. Oh, do you have the banner?
Yeah, let me take it off. There you go.
Yeah. Is our health intention jar, and this little guy is $20. Also be watching our Instagram and Facebook right now, because we will be doing a deal starting mid next week. So watch for that.
And so this is one of the abundance intention jars. This one's $15. She made it for me for abundance. So it's pretty cool. And I love that you're making kits for people to be able to do their own. That's really awesome. All right. And then that brings us to the music portions of all of this. We get music from Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver, and she has invited us to use it in our service. We Are All One is one of them. We do some of her other songs, in the service sometimes. But go to her website. You will have to email her to find out how to pay her. She's not able to update her website to include her Cash App or her Venmo or whatever form of payment she's using. And she travels all over the United States, so singing. And so I never know where she is at any given moment. And so you'll have to reach out to her by email. But she has some really wonderful CDs. I love her CDs. I've got all of them. And every time she comes out with a new one, I get another one. So then also Karen Drucker, whose website does work. Karen Drucker has gifted us her entire collection of 20 CDs, which we really appreciate. We use her music at the end. I Am So Blessed is one of hers. But we use her music a lot during the service. And you can buy it by the song. You can buy it by the CD. If you like that song that we sang today, what album is that one on, or what CD is that on?
That one is Songs of Spirit 2.
Songs of Spirit 2. She has a Songs of Spirit 2, 3, and 4. So this is Songs of Spirit 2. Anyway, you can buy it by the song. You can buy it by the CD. You can buy songbooks in case you want to learn the songs to sing them. And some of her songs even have American Sign Language. Like one of the videos I watched today was one that Faith was doing sign language for I Am So Beautiful. Remember that one? So anyway, we like to support those that support us. So please go to Karen Drucker's website and buy something today. Okay. All right. And then check out our website, www.oasiscsl.org. There you will find sermons, the past sermons from years ago on sound files, and the more current ones from the last year and a half will be on video format. There's a tab for each one of those. And we are also on YouTube, and we are on SoundCloud. YouTube carries the songs or the sermons that we've done since the last year and a half, the video files. And Soundtown only has the soundtracks for sermons we've done in the past years. So, but you can follow us there. You can follow us on our website. The website has information about our practitioners. It has information about who we are and what we do. There's all kinds of photos you can go look at just to see what kind of fun we like to have when we can get together. I'm hoping one of these days we can do that again. Picnics and the like, we love doing all that. And so this meme, or this song, this next song is a meme that is really good to get stuck in your head. I am so blessed. Sing it loud and sing it proud if you know the words.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed.
And I remember as we go into the week, the perfection that underlies all being, the very process of life, and all the blessings that it brings that flow forth from that infinite source that we call God. The turbulence and the everyday occurrences may seem scattered and random, but underlying it all is that same perfection, that same creation that runs and moves through each of us. And I know that that blessing extends to your lives and our lives, and that it is a great blessing that we carry forth. And for that, I give great thanks, and I let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning. We're blessed to have you with us. Join us every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And we love you. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Get your vaccination. Bye until next week.